Yamuna Tira Vanasa Yamuna Tira Jayada Madhava Kunjaya Jayada Madhava Kunjaya Gopijana Vallava Girivardhana Gopijana Vallava Girivardhana Yashodanandana Prajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Prajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanasa Yamuna Tira Vanasa Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Jai Jaya Gurudev Hari Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Pariva Jagacharya Astut Sirasita Sisimadhi Divine Grace ISKCON Founder Acharya Jagat Guru A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Pariva Jagacharya Astut Sirasita Sisimadhi Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada ki jai. Anand Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. प्रेम से ओ श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपाल गोपीनाथ श्यामा राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। वृंदावन धाम की जय। मथुरा धाम की जय। नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय। जगन्नाथ पुरी धाम की जय। जमुना माई की जय। गिरिजेश माई की जय। तुलसी देवी की जय। Bhakti Devi ki jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Nitai Gaura Premanandi. All glories assembled devotees. All glories assembled devotees. All glories assembled devotees. All glory to Sri Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Namo Vishnu Padya Krishna Prita Bhutali Srimati Bhakti Titi Shanti Namaste Krishna. Jai Prabhupada Shri Shri Gaura Karana Shakti Bhakti Titi Namane. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Om Madhyanatirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunvitandena Tashmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Startam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Gurun Sri Yuttapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavansa Sri Rupam Sagrajata Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapakanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakor Pataro Jascha Kripa Sandhya Vacha Patitanam Pavibhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Srimad Bhagavad Gita Cities ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita Cities Chapter 9. The most confidential knowledge. Text number 30. 30. Apichesu Taracharo Bhajate Mam Ananyabhak Sadureva Sa Samantavya Samyak Vyavasito Hisa Apichetsu duracharo bhajate mam ananya bhak sadhureva samantavya samyava vasito hisaha apichesu duracharo bhajate mam ananya bhak sadhureva samantavya samyava vasito hisaha
Apichesu duracharo
bhajate mam ananya bhak
Sadhureva samantavya
sadhureva samantavya
samyagyavasito hisaha
samyava vasito hisaha apichesu duracharo bhajate mam ananya bhak sadhureva samantavya samyava vasito hisaha apichesu duracharo bhajate mam ananya bhak sadhureva samantavya samyava vasito hisaha. Mataji. Apichesu duracharo bhajate mam ananya bhak sadhureva samantavya samyava vasito hisaha apichesu duracharo bhajate mam ananya bhak sadhureva samantavya samyava vasito hisaha apichet even if Sudaracharaha, one committing the most abominable actions, Bhajate, is engaged in devotional service, Mam, unto me, Ananya back, without deviation, Sadhu, a saint, Eva, certainly, Saha, he, Mantavyaha, he shall be considered Samyak, completely, Vyavasitaha, situated in determination. He, certainly, Saha, he. Translation and purport by Divine Grace S.C. Bhakti Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki. Even if one commit the most abominable action, if he is engaged in devotional service, he shall be considered saintly because he is properly situated in his determination. Please repeat it. Even if one commits the most abominable action, if he is engaged in devotional service, he shall be considered saintly because he is properly situated in his determination. Purport. The word Suduracharaha used in this verse is very significant, and we should understand it properly. When a living entity is conditioned, it has two kinds of activities. One is constitutional. One is conditional, and the other is constitutional. As for protecting the body or abiding by the rules of society and state, certainly there are different activities, even for the devotees, in connection with the conditional life. And such activities are called conditional. Besides this, the living entity who is fully conscious of his spiritual nature and is engaged in Krishna consciousness or the devotional service of the Lord has activities which are called transcendental. Such activities are performed in his constitutional position, and they are technically called devotional service. Now, in the conditioned state, sometimes devotional service and the conditional service in relation to the body will parallel one another. But then again, sometimes these activities become opposed to one another. As far as possible, a devotee is very cautious so that he does not do anything that could disrupt his wholesome condition. He knows that perfection in his activities depends on his progressive realization of Krishna consciousness. Sometimes, however, it may be seen that a person in Krishna consciousness commits some act which may be taken as most abominable socially or politically. But such a temporary fall down does not disqualify him. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated that if a person falls down but is wholeheartedly engaged in the transcendental service of the Supreme Lord, the Lord, being situated within his heart, purifies him and excuses him from that abomination. The material contamination is so strong that even a yogi fully engaged in the service of the Lord sometimes becomes ensnared. But Krishna consciousness is so strong that such an occasional fall down is at once rectified. Therefore, the process of devotional service is always a success. No one should deride a devotee for some accidental fall down from the ideal path. For, as explained in the next verse, such occasional fall downs will be stopped in due course, as soon as a devotee is completely situated in Krishna consciousness. Therefore, a person who is situated in Krishna consciousness and is engaged with determination in the process of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, should be considered to be in a transcendental position, even if by chance or accident, he is found to have fallen. The word sadhu eva is saintly are very emphatic. They are a warning to the non-devotees that because of an accidental fall down, a devotee should not be derided. He should still be considered saintly even if he has accidentally fallen down. And the word Montevere is still more emphatic. If one does not follow this rule and derides a devotee for his accidental fall down, then one is disobeying the order of the Supreme Lord. The only qualification of a devotee is to be unflinchingly and exclusively engaged in devotional service. In the Nrsimha Purana, the following statement is given. Bhagavati cha harun ananya cheta prisamai linopi virajate manusha ahisasa kalusa chatibi kadachit timira parabhyavatam upaiti chandraha. The meaning is that even if one fully engaged in the devotional service of the Lord is sometimes found engaged in abominable activities, these activities should be considered to be like the spots that resemble the mark of a rabbit on the moon. Such spots do not become an impediment to the diffusion of moonlight. Similarly, the accidental fall down of a devotee from the path of saintly character does not make him abominable. On the other hand, one should not misunderstand that a devotee in transcendental devotional service can act in all kinds of abominable ways. This ways only refers to an accidental due to the strong power of material connections. Devotional service is more or less a declaration of war against the illusory energy. As long as one is not strong enough to fight the illusory energy, there may be accidental fall downs. But when one is strong enough, he is no longer subjected to such fall downs, as previously explained. No one should take advantage of this verse and commit nonsense and think that he is still a devotee. If he does not improve in his character by devotional service, then it is to be understood that he is not a high devotee. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Very important verse, and also the purport is very loaded. In this slok, you see another verse which also started like this in chapter 4 Bhagavad Gita. Apichet, even if. This is a glorification of devotional service. It is not a license for a whimsical act, but it is a glorification of the potency of devotional service, Christian consciousness, even if chapter 4 and chapter 9. So, Krishna is saying here, even if one commits the most abominable action, if he is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly. First of all, a person who is fully engaged in Christian consciousness cannot do something whimsical. He cannot. Therefore, even if it's applied here, even if you see that, we should be careful, because we don't know what is the situation of that soul. We don't know what is the situation of that soul. I give you an example. It's something I have said many times. The prostitute who came to test Haridas Thakur, the king has called for some prostitute to go. They said, no. Our profession is not to disturb a sadhu. They didn't go. One said, I will go for it. She went. And what happened to her? She have never practiced chanting. She's not a devotee. Her profession is abominable. She have never had association with devotees. She went once. And Haridas kept her for 3 days. She became a pure devotee. And she also chanted 300,000 names exactly as her spiritual master did. Haridas Thakur told her, go, sell all the properties you got by ill means. Don't give it to Sudras. Don't give it to Vaishyas and Kshatriyas. Give it to the Brahmanas only. Because the Brahmanas, they have the potency to absorb their sins and not be contaminated. Then after that, you come back here. She did not ask, if I sell my properties, I don't have another profession. I have only one profession. If I sell all my properties, and if I give it out, so what will happen to me? She did not ask that question. We have seen thousands of devotees who are practicing Christian consciousness, whose level of doubt is very, very high. Here, a person who has never practiced anything, the level of her faith is very high. She did not doubt her spiritual master. She went exactly, sold all her properties, distributed it to the Brahmanas, and she came back. The Guru said, now you sit here before Tulsi Devi, chant the holy name as Guru, as disciple. She shaved her head, sat down before Tulsi Devi, and chanted 300 1,000 names and went back to Godhead. One lifetime. One lifetime. So if we want to look at her activities and judge her by her activities, we will make a lot of offenses. If anyone calls her a prostitute, we are making an offense. So Prabhupada said in a purport here, constitutional activities and conditional activities. There are two things. Constitutional activities are the activities which come from with the soul. For example, giving charity is a constitutional activity for a noble person. It's constitutional. To go to temple, to do deity worship, to chant Hare Krishna, it is constitutional activity for a noble soul. Conditional activities are things which are due to the heavy weight of our previous life. Our previous sinful activities has weight that we are forced to do certain things, like this prostitute. She became a pure devotee. And for one lifetime, she went back home, back to Godhead. A majority of us are going to do devotional activities for 3 beds. 3. When we have become elevated to human life, human platform, we are going to do devotional service for 3 beds before we do pure devotional service. Devotional service which is full of offenses, anarthas. Devotional service which is on the cleansing stage, and devotional service which is on the pure state. You take 3 beds, because not in all the beds we have Guru and we have Krishna. Of all the different species of life we have taken, we have mothers, we have fathers, we have wives, we have husbands, we have houses, we have cars, we have everything materially speaking. Education we have all, but not Guru and not Krishna. These personalities comes rarely for those who are already fortunate. So the word su means what?
Very rare.
Very rare. And su and what? Not only rare. Su means what? There are so many Sus. Sudarsan, Subhadra, Sudaracharo. There are many. Sudurachara used in this verse is very significant. Very significant. Right? Even one is seen to be very sinful. What's the profession of a prostitute? Very sinful, right? So when you look at this so-called prostitute, her life was what? Conditional. Her prostitutional position was conditional. And it can easily be eliminated with the power of the holy name, the power of devotional service, the power of Krishna devotional service. Can easily remove this. Just like one who is a pious sinner, a pious sinner, a pious criminal. A pious criminal, if you get him, he will leave your things and run away. A hardcore criminal, if you get him, he will kill you. They are not on the same level. It's conditional. It's conditional. His Holiness Radha Maharaj, he told us of a lady. She was stealing and she got arrested. She has 2 sons. She was stealing and was arrested. She was judged guilty because she stole and sentenced to prison. After the judgment was passed on her, what are we looking at? Conditional duty. The judgment has already passed on her. So she called the magistrate. Can I say something before I enter the jail? He said yes. So she told the judge, this child is from the first husband. Mistreatment, varieties of mistreatment. It was so much just for her to protect herself, she has to run away. But she ran with the child. After some time being pacified from the horrible experience he had from the first marriage, the senses always harassing. She decided, yeah, that was the first one. Let me try the second one. She tried the second one. She also got the child, the second child, worse than the previous husband. She had not, for her to exist, she also had to run away. And she has 2 children to take care. Without the father, she has no profession. What to do to take care of the child? She cannot be employed anywhere except she has to go and hang around for a cleaning job. Therefore, she stole. And now, I'm sentenced to jail. What will happen to these children? It is because of them I was doing this. It was a conditional stealing. The magistrate released her, tell her to go. And he tried to help her to get something for her maintenance. She was released. So if a human being can do like this, what about God? The all-merciful personality of God. What about him? Will he crucify us for eternity? Like the Bible said? We are condemned for eternity. What kind of God will condemn someone for eternity? What kind of God is that? And who is an intelligent person will accept such a person to be God? When, even as human, we can forgive. And God cannot forgive. So this is conditional sinful activity or profession. Yes. When a living entity is conditioned, he has 2 kinds of activities which we explained. One is conditional, and the other is constitutional. We already explained that. As for protecting the body or abiding by the rules of society and state, certainly, rules of society and state, certainly these are different activities, even for the devotees, in connection with the conditional life. And such activities are called conditional. This is conditional. Conditional activity. One may change his job. This is conditional. one may change location. This is conditional situation. There's war, and what can be done? I have to relocate to save one's life. These are conditional. They are also activities which we do that are based on our own personal desire. For example, I'm changing my car, or I'm changing my house. That's a personal duty. I'm changing because of my desire for the present. So one should be very careful to see how nature is working. Yes. Besides this, the living entity who is fully conscious of his spiritual nature and is engaged in Christian consciousness or the devotional service of the Lord has activities which are called transcendental. For such activities, there is no impediment because one carefully calculates what he should do and what he shouldn't do. One carefully calculates them and you follow them very carefully. They are transcendental activities. Even on this platform, it may be abominable activity, but there's no reaction to it because they are performed by eternally liberated souls. On the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Bhimsena drank blood. Did he go to hell? Bhim, he drank blood in the presence of Krishna. Krishna was standing there when he was drinking the blood from Dushashan. He went to hell? I'm asking you.
No.
Huh? Why? Rules and regulations are meant for conditioned souls. Rules and regulations are made for conditioned souls. A pure devotee do not break principle, but even if they haven't transgressed the law, they are not subjected to our discipline, net of instruction. They are not subjected to our discipline. If it is done, we'll pay heavily for it. Now, in the conditional state, sometimes devotional service and a conditional service in relation to the body will parallel one another. But then again, sometimes these activities become opposed to one another. As far as possible, a devotee is very cautious so that he does not do anything that could disrupt his wholesome condition. That's a pure devotee. A pure devotee will not tell you, Sadhu Eva. A pure devotee cannot tell you that. After doing abominable activity, Sadhu Eva. A pure devotee cannot do that. Anyone who says that is not a pure devotee. It's a whimsical, dangerous person. And should be carefully avoided. Because he knows that perfection in his activities depends on his progressive realization of Krishna consciousness. I said pure devotee. In Chaitanya Bhagavat, one day Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I will go there, I will enter. Can anyone stop me? Do I have any rules to obey? Can anyone stop me? See what Pandit said. Nobody can stop you. But if you go there, I will commit suicide. I will die. Why? You are the supremely independent Lord. How many people knows you are? If you enter there, they are going to blaspheme you. And how can I tolerate that? I will die just because of me. don't go there. Tita was, okay, since you said I would not go there. He didn't go there. He said devotee. He didn't say sadhu ever. He's a Supreme Lord. He didn't say that. Because he knows what to do. Not only for himself. Acharya would behave properly. Would behave properly as an acharya. Because he's a teacher, he has to act properly. Still, even if he does something which we think is wrong, we should be careful because it's very dangerous for us. But since he temporarily fall down does not disqualify him. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated that if a person falls down but is wholeheartedly engaged in the transcendental service of the Supreme Lord, the Lord, being situated within his heart, purifies him and excuses him from that abomination. This is when a person is trying his or her best, the person is trying, but the weight of the previous sinful activities weighing heavily on him. And sometimes he breaks the principle. But you see those people, they have a deep regret and they pray and beg. They don't advertise it. They don't point hand to this, I'm sadhu. They feel very bad. They regret it. That repentant attitude, that regret, the fire of repentance so high that will dry up whatever mistake is there and let the person continue with his practice with devotional service. Material contamination is so strong that even a yogi fully engaged in the service of the Lord sometimes becomes ensnared. We have many examples. But Krishna consciousness is so strong that such an occasional fall down is at once rectified. Therefore, the process of devotional service is always a success. Brigumuni, he is a Muni, but it is not that all Munis are pure devotees. Not all Munis, we hear Muni, they are all pure devotees. They are not. Not all are pure devotees. Brigumuni in particular, he has a lot of false ego. And his brother, Radhamuni, knows that. Desiring to help him, he selected him, go and test Shiva, Brahma, and Vishnu, and come and tell us who is the Supreme. And he went. Verbal offense to Shiva, mental offense, Brahma, gross offense to Lord Vishnu. As a result of that, Brigmuni fell down. He became a jungle hunter. And Srila Prabhupada said, jungle hunters are demons. That means Brigmuni became a demon. But, Prabhupada said here, no one should deride a devotee for some accidental fall down from the ideal path. For, as explained in the next verse, such occasional fall downs will be stopped in due course as soon as a devotee is completely situated in Christian consciousness. He was among the 3 people who saw Krishna last before Krishna disappeared. And Krishna liberated him. He was the one who shot Krishna's at the lotus feet. And by doing that, he got liberated. He got liberated. The arrow he used in shooting Krishna is what? The arrow he used when he shot Krishna is what? Yes, that is because the Brahmanas gave to false pregnancy or samba. The powder became the trees which they used to kill themselves. But that one that was able to be grounded, it was sold to Jara the hunter. Jara is big money. There are two types of Jara. And Jara, we have to know. Jara the demon is different. And the Jara the hunter, of course, is also a demon. So that little one, that's what he used to put the arrow, and he used it for Krishna to complete the curse. Because Krishna is part of the Brishni. So doing that service, he got liberated. Not becoming a moon again, he was transformed. Pure devotee. Therefore, nature and karma, according to the Bhagavad Gita, very, very difficult, intricate. Karma is so intricate, so difficult. Even sages cannot properly determine what is karma. Only Krishna can do everything perfectly. All others, even sages, cannot completely, properly give us explanation to different karmic situations. Only Krishna can do that. It is only Krishna we should judge. In the Bible, it is said like that. The Bible it say that revenge is of the Lord, not we. Because he has the license to do that. Revenge is not for us. Revenge is of Krishna, the Supreme Lord. And the 6 children of Devki that Kamsa killed, who are they? Who are the 6 sons of Devki?
The sons of Kalini. The sons of Kalini.
They were the associates of Bali Maharaj.
Before they became associates?
They were one of the associates.
Before they became associates? Before they got there, they have this history. Yes, they are Maharish's children. They laugh at Brahma. See this useless father. Look at him. He can't control his lust. See, put on the net. See, Facebook. They pulled on Brahma on the Facebook. So, what's the consequences of that? Demons for millions of years. Only one laughing at Brahma. Just laughing at Brahma. Demons for billions of years. Just laughing. The consequences of misunderstanding the deed of a high personality. It's our Vaishnava etiquette that we should not laugh at someone's deformity. We shouldn't look at people's fault. Yes, better to sympathize and help than to laugh, especially when you cannot help. Don't increase anything we cannot help. If you're a gentle person, you meet with a situation you cannot help, we shouldn't increase it. Just leave it as a gentle person. If you increase it, we're implicated. Just say, I don't know. It's better. I don't know. How many? Just 3 words. Very powerful, but difficult to do. I don't know. They laughed Lord Brahma, their grandfather. The result was millions of birds as demons. And when they became fortunate, they appeared as Devki's children, and their uncle killed all of them upon their birth. Until Lord Krishna, their Gino brother, has to go and bring them after he has sucked the breast milk of Devki. Then they took the remnant before they became reinstated in their position. They got liberated. After that, millions of birds as demons, not as devotees. If it's devotees, better, but as demons. Were laughing at their grandfather. And that stone is a person. The stone Kamsa used in killing his sister's children is a person. The stone have been used in carving Krishna deities, 3 Krishna deities. And please come to India, I will take you to these 3 deities. Yeah. They are there. Very, very nice, beautiful. It's a person, the stone, not just not just a stone. It's a person. These are the mysteries of Christian consciousness. We have to learn the science very carefully, then we can succeed. Therefore, a person who is situated in Krishna consciousness and is engaged with determination in the process of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, should be considered to be in the transcendental position, even if by chance or accident he is found to have fallen. Even if we see that, yes, it is still be careful. Why? Because look, the verse was referring to in chapter 4 Bhagavad Gita. Even if you are considered the most sinful of the sinners, when you are situated in the boat of transcendence, the boat of transcendental knowledge, you can pass all miseries. That is 39, 36. Api ched asi pape bia, sarve bia, papa krit tamaha, sarvam, gyana plavena iva, vrijinam santari shasi. Even if you are considered to be the most, the same thing, right? Even if you are considered to be the most sinful of all sinners, when you are situated in the boat of transcendental knowledge, you will be able to cross over the ocean of miseries. One who is situated on the boat of Krishna consciousness is sure to cross the ocean by the strength of devotional service, the strength of Krishna consciousness. Lord Krishna told Uddhava in the 11th canto, because I established this process of devotional service, taken to this process, one will eventually succeed. Success is guaranteed because I established this process. Other processes, there is no guarantee of success. But the process of Krishna consciousness, there is guarantee that one will surely attain success. That is sure. It may take some time because of our previous activities. But if we continue, therefore, Prabhupada many times he told us, stick to this process. Our success is guaranteed. He's sure. Prabhupada is sure what he has given to us. Not experimental thing. He's giving, okay, make experiment to see if you succeed or not. He is convinced about what he gave to us. Therefore, he concluded, if you stick to this process, your success is guaranteed. Let us stick to the process by taking seriously the shelter of the holy name and the shelter of the process of devotional service, our success is guaranteed. The word sadhu ever, he is saintly, are very emphatic. They are a warning to the non-devotees that because of an accidental fall down, a devotee should not be derided. Yes. What is the use of laughing somebody? It's better to help somebody than to laugh at somebody. So help. If someone is weak, say our duty is to help, to compassionate, support. Because we all need to be supported. And if we want to be supported, we should support others. Otherwise, we are selfish. And this process is not meant for selfish people. This process is meant for selfless people. Those who are ready to give support to others. Yes. And the word Montavia is still more emphatic. If one does not follow this rule and derides a devotee for his accidental fall down, then one is disobeying the order of the Supreme, which is not good. The Christian is not advising, he is giving order. And a fortunate person should follow the order, not disobeying. The only qualification of a devotee is to be unflinchingly and exclusively engaged in devotional service. Yes, then the Sangha Purana is quoted here. The meaning is that even if one fully engaged in the devotional service of the Lord is sometimes found engaged in abominable activities, this activity should be considered to be like the spot that resembles the mark of a rabbit on the moon. It does not stop the moon from shining. So the accidental mistakes, not a deliberate act, but accidental mistakes, which we make on the process of our bhakti, does not stop us from progress. It doesn't stop us. Willful, premeditated, sinful activity will check our progress in Christian consciousness. But accidental fall down will not. In fact, it will help a fortunate person to become more careful so that we don't repeat the same thing. A mistake is something we don't continuously do, something that just happened. Deliberate activities are the thing we do regularly. It's not a mistake, it's a deliberate act. For those things, for those are simple activities, you will pay heavily for it. Mistakes, Christian will consider. It's a mistake. It's a mistake. Christian will continue. Christian will consider and help us to progress. Just like when we are chanting, we're chanting from, some of us chanting, begin from offensive chanting. Padma Purana said, if you keep chanting and chanting and chanting more than 16 rounds, the potency, the power of the holy name will rise above the offenses and the mistakes and uproot it completely and give us the pure name of Krishna, if you continue sincerely. Yes. Similarly, the accidental fall down of a devotee from the path of saintly character does not make him abominable. He's going to be rectified. He's going to be transformed, going to be finished if you continue. Remaining on the boat, just to remain, we should just remain. Don't going outside, should remain. If you remain, everything will be taken care of by the fire of bhakti. On the other hand, one should not misunderstand that a devotee in transcendental devotional service can act in all kinds of abominable ways. This verse only refers to an accidental due to the strong power of material connections, not a deliberate act. Not a deliberate act. It's accidental. It's accidental, not deliberate. Krishna will help such a devotee to transcend. Devotional service is more or less a declaration of war against illusory energy. As long as one is not strong enough to fight the illusory energy, there may be accidental fall downs. This statement Prabhupada is quoting repeatedly here is a statement of Narada Muni in Canto 1, Chapter 5. Narada Muni is speaking. If one take to Krishna consciousness and trying and has some accidental fall down, what is the difficulty? Because it's going to be rectified. At the same time, if one is a perfectly pure Brahmana, but he's not a pure devotee, useless. As long as one is not strong enough to fight the illusory energy, there may be accidental fall downs. But when one is strong enough, he is no longer subjected to such fall downs, as previously explained. No one should take advantage of this verse. Sadhu ever, you are not a sadhu. Because a sadhu would not speak like that. Yes, a serious person feels ashamed to do something wrong. Say, he will not advertise it, not be proud about it, be ashamed. So a person who is shameless to advertise his nonsensical activities is not a sadhu, not a sadhu. And he shouldn't be respected as a sadhu, he should be rejected. No one should take advantage of this verse and commit nonsense and think that he is still a devotee. If he does not improve in his character by devotional service, even then it is to be understood that he is not a high-class devotee, but a whimsical so-called devotee that will discourage new people who are not experienced in their Krishna consciousness yet. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Comments? Questions? Yes, bro.
So this improvement of character is an automatic happening in a devotee's life. Can we understand it this way? That one's character, and they have a bad character, have practiced devotional service, Krishna consciousness.
Yes.
So automatically my character will change.
Sure. If you are following the discipline of Krishna consciousness, it will change. Otherwise, what is the use of Krishna consciousness? Don't you see that you are different from 30 years back? You don't see that? What has happened? Transformation through the process of devotion. Yes. That's why we are doing this.
It's a guarantee.
Yes, guarantee. Stick to the process. Your success is guaranteed, Prabhupada said. Stick to the process. We shouldn't give all the practice. We should continue to practice sincerely. Just try. Bhagavad Gita 10:10 purport, 10:11 purport. The Prabhupada said, glorifying the process of devotional service. You seen it? But even if a devotee does not take advantage of their literatures or spiritual master, If he is sincere in his devotional service, he is helped by Krishna himself within his heart. Prabhupada repeated it 2 verses, text 10, text 11. Stick to the process sincerely. The previous one, this is 11. The 10 purport, Prabhupada said, a devotee have a bona fide spiritual master, bona fide organization, bona fide scripture, but if he is foolish, I cannot understand what the spiritual master is teaching. But if he stick to this service, to this process, Krishna will eventually purify this devotee and give him bhakti. It is working. If it is not working, what is bringing a transformation? It is working. There's a change, a drastic change going on. Right? That His Grace Shyama Sundar Prabhu, proper disciple. He's the first who carved the ISKCON Jagannath. So in Mumbai, he was telling us his experience. When he was carving the deity, he was still smoking. He was still smoking when he was carving the Jagannath deities. And so when the Prabhupada came to supervise the work, and he had just finished smoking, and what is it? The last part of it, what is it? That the filter? So he left it on Jagannath's head. So a Prabhupada came and supervised. He didn't say anything. He kept quiet. And after appreciating what he's doing, and then he finished all that, then Prabhupada placed his cane on Jagannath's head, where he's putting that cigarette, and he said, just throw this away like this. That was the last day he smoked. He never smoked again. He stopped smoking. It's not working? This is working. Yes. Lakshmi Muni, also a proper disciple, good teacher, professional teachers. So in Brother, she was telling us the proper appearance. So she was telling us, as an American girl, I did everything. You understand? Right? But when we came to Prabhupada and he told us no illicit, no gambling, no intoxication, no flesh eating, right from that day till today, finish. Not working? It's finished. It's finished. Sinful life is finished. Brahmananda Prabhu he was our resident sannyasi in West Africa, Nigeria. Brahmananda Prabhu. He is one of the devotee Prabhupada sent to West Africa to start Krishna consciousness. So he told us also his experience. He was searching books everywhere. He was searching. What is my identity? Who I am? That was his issue. Searching everywhere. Books and books and books. He was searching. He didn't find any person, somebody telling him who he is. Until we came to Prabhupada, only one sentence, Prabhupada finished him. You are a spirit soul, part and parcel of Krishna. Right from that moment, he never went back to his house. He didn't go back again to his house. Even when his mother came, he didn't go. He stayed. Very fortunately, he left the body in Vrindavan. Very fortunate. They were trying to take him from Vrindavan to Delhi for treatment. He refused. They tried, they were refusing, but devotee, transcendental people, they were forcing. Leave me here. Vrindavan is taking him back to Maya. He refused. But they forced him, so okay, he's helpless. It's okay, let's go. They didn't leave Vrindavan, he left the world. So he didn't go out of Vrindavan. So this experience, it is working. We should remain here. We should remain here not as a source of distraction, not as a burden to the movement. We should remain here in a healthy condition. Means we should try to keep the principles and practice nicely. We have been quoting. This statement is coming from His Holiness Bhattacharya Maharaj. We are Vaishnavas, let us behave like Vaishnavas. That's all. You will get there. All right. Yes, well.
Krishna Maharaj,
Hare Krishna.
thank you for the nice lecture. Maharaj mentioned that you give the example of the prostitute. If such act happens today, in the modern era, then we are also like bound to make, we won't be able to give a right decision, take the right decision, judging that instead. So as temple leaders, managers, and temple commanders, if you have situations like that, then we are bound to take wrong decisions. So in that situation, how leaders, managers, they are being protected by the law from such type of situation?
We are not qualified to act like Haridas, so Krishna will not give us a prostitute to stay in a temple with us. Krishna will not send us a prostitute to come and stay with us. This is my profession, don't look at me. Krishna will not do that for us because Haridas has an eye to see. Krishna sent me somebody. I should not run away. I should do my service. So he did. He transformed her and changed her. So Krishna will give us a different one. And we are, even the small one Krishna is giving, we are still not strong enough because we are, majority of us like a sincerity. Because the sincerity is not there, we are not serious and not sincere, missing these two qualities, we are not empowered to represent Krishna proper nicely. This is our mistakes. Haridas has is a serious devotee and very, very sincere, direct. So Krishna gave him a lot of situations to do his service, and he did it silently without difficulty. No problem. So if we are very sincere and serious, we are sincere and serious in our Christian consciousness, Krishna will give us a lot of services that will really expand the movement.
Hare Krishna, Shri Gurudev.
Hare Krishna.
So in this verse, Krishna speaks about abominable activities, and he's ready to forgive anyone, not condemning anyone. And it is my personal observation that some devotees, they have been doing service at the temple for many years, and the little mistake, or we can say accidental fall down that they have, and they are debarred from that service, they are asked to, they are removed from that service, somehow suspended, and finally they stop coming. And as you said earlier, we are discouraged by that, but the beginners are discouraged by that mentality. So Shilagudi, what is the reason for that mismanagement or bad mentality, and how to correct that?
I just mentioned that we were not serious and sincere.
Okay.
If we were not empowered to, not empowered to represent Christian nicely. Paradise is serious, very serious and very sincere. So Krishna gave him all the necessary things to do. With difficult services he gave to him. And he succeeded in doing them because of his sincerity and seriousness in Christian consciousness. So we are lacking that quality. That's why we are not having that potency. If Krishna is still the same person, not that he has changed. He sees the supreme person of Godhead. And he will do what he wants to do all the time. He only asks us to become an instrument. He will use us. Say, why will not be some of us, not all, some, many of you are instrument. But for those who are not instrument, Krishna will not use. He will not use that. So let us become a good instrument. The Krishna will use us. He will empower us to do what he wants us to do. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Srimad Bhagavad Gita Siti's ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.